Just waiting for people to come in, see if anybody will join.
Okay, so now you're going to start it just like a car.
Okay.
Okay, now before we actually...
Clear prop.
Yeah, you clear prop out the window.
Clear prop!
There you go. And go ahead and put that down. Okay, and then put your right hand on the red mixture knob.
There's 3 people in here. So,
Okay.
I don't know if all of you are aware, but
Start it.
I used to be a private pilot, but I took a while and didn't get to be current, but it's going to be going over some of my videos on my YouTube channel, Aviation Plus. This is my first lesson, and just going to go over my thoughts while going through the videos. I have some other videos as well that I seen that was really fun with during my training.
So now what we want to do is, what's the next thing on the list?
On the list is mixture rich, oil check, oil pressure okay, mixture lean.
So this one, the audio is not that great. So go to the takeoff. Yeah, it's too bad. I'm gonna go to another video because that was pretty bad. Let's go see if steep turns is good.
Okay.
Yep, there we go.
And 4. Okay, now do we need Joshua? Yes. When we get past Joshua here, and then we'll put because we're going to be on the.
So if you have any questions, just feel free to put them in the comments, and I'll definitely answer them. Just gonna be talking about doing a voiceover of all my videos for I don't know about an hour or so, depending on how long I want to stay here.
Okay. 122 4.
Right now I'm putting in the code or the frequency for Joshua approach.
If you want to, you can go like here, put that and go 122 4, and then put transfer, and it goes directly into rather than the standby. Okay, that makes sense. A little feature there. Okay, so we're going to use that to open up the flight plan, and then we're going to use this one. What is it? What is Joshua? Joshua 12455.
Yeah, so we're looking at Joshua right now.
Okay,
Trying to put it on the radios. We're gonna go to the takeoff.
Yep, for Edwards Tower will be column 2. No one on final. Okay. Runway is clear.
Make sure this runway's
104, taking runway 24. South for Buckhorn departure. For Buckhorn departure.
I hated with the radio. You press the button, your brain shuts off. It's pretty crazy how you press the button. You just forget everything.
Yeah, we used to have a Rosamond departure, and they've changed it. They don't like us making that right turn in front of the runway, so they've changed it to Buckhorn.
So that the runway is long enough, but it's not very wide.
Okay, yeah, you're going to ease into it, heels on the ground, and anticipate using a right rudder to keep it centered.
So this is me taking off. I really do miss flying, but it costs a lot of money and lots of time. Mostly a lot of money. So 55, you rotate, you come off the ground. So that's the takeoff. Let's see, it's my 3rd lesson because we were going over some quick things or some early things. Talking about Dutch rolls, going back and forth. Well, he'll explain it. So this is basically using the rudders to make sure that you're using the rudders proficiently. So the ball is down here, as you can see. I'm trying to keep that ball in the middle, in the center. Now we're just doing turns, practicing some turns to make sure that I'm keeping my altitude. There's a turn. Gonna put a little bit more right rudder on that. Oh, now it's left rudder. Pulling about, I think we were pulling like 2 Gs maybe. So let's do some slow flight. Yep, dropping all the flaps.
It's going to be a slow process. Hold it right there. Alright, we're not in any hurry. Not in any hurry. Hold your heading.
I'm losing speed.
Let's bring this over here a little bit more.
Trying to keep my heading as well.
There you go. Looking good.
Speed's coming down. And as he said, all the way down. So all flaps go all the way down.
Okay, now it's going to start really slowing down.
There goes the airspeed, just bleeding off.
Then, okay, there's yeah, when we get to 60. Ready? Now.
Keeps bleeding off.
2000. Don't let the
I think that's 60.
Okay, bring the nose up a bit. Bring the nose up a bit more.
That's my like 20 2,000 RPM or so down here.
Up a little bit more.
So we're just going to be keeping this slow flight so I can see how sluggish the controls are while flying.
55. How's that looking? Looks pretty nice. Oh, man. Look at that. That is just beautiful. Okay, now you're going to make a left-hand turn. I want you to be heading east. Okay, left-hand turn. 15 degrees of bank. And I want you to nail that altitude, the airspeed. Now, the altitude, see how it wants to start to go down? When I start doing it, it will go down as you turn. Okay, we're not doing it today. The airplane's making a liar out of me. Okay, start to roll out about 10 degrees.
Just doing some slow flight.
Not
And then some stalls over here. We did not do any rolls, but we did do some stalls. It seems like it's power on stall. There's our speed right here. Getting slow, and this break the angle, bring it back down, and you're good to go. Now it's my turn. So throttle back to 15. It's right here.
Okay, let's hold our heading and our altitude. Looks good. When it gets in, slow it down. We're in no hurry. Yeah, it's going
Actually losing speed, losing altitude, so I should have been straight.
Continue to pull the nose up. Power.
Then there's full power.
Pull the nose up and anticipate right rudder. You got to remember high power at low speed. You got to get the right rudder in there. Come. Pull back, more. Right about there. Take that time.
And then my speed is lowering, is decreasing, bleeding off speed. And there it is. Break the plane. Yeah, he wanted me to get it down faster. Hey Darkweast, are you planning on going to the military as an aviator? Well, right now I'm in the military as enlisted, and this year I'll be sending in my package to become an officer and hopefully an aviator. Hopefully either fighters or so for fighters, hopefully it's like an F-22 or F-16, And if not, if I'm unable to get fighters altogether, I'll probably want to do a F-17 or a C-17 Globemaster. Just get in that because it's basically a fighter jet. Has the stick and HUD and everything, so it's almost the same thing when it comes to control-wise. Nice, yeah, me too. Yep, Air Force. Yep. Active duty Air Force.
There's the stall. There you go. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, there's 62. Just
Build a stall.
back up.
Yep.
Let's go. Let's runway. Okay.
So it seems like I'll be going back to the runway, so I'm going to skip to all the way to the runway. I think I land this one.
When you do that, it
Oh, he's kind of going, giving me some help, but I follow him on the landing.
keep it on the center line. Okay?
We're a little high on this, but
Now see how the distance between the threshold and the dash stays the same all the way down? That means your airspeed will stay the same, so keep the nose down. Okay, put your eyes down the runway. Down, all the way down. Look all the way down. When you do that, it kicks in the peripheral, right? Now what we're going to do is just hold it off. See around the center? And we just hold it. There you go.
yeah, we have Discord. Usually on the 6th, I can give you a invite.
Okay, now I don't want to brake so I can get off here. What we're going to do is go right past it. Okay.
So this is our Discord that we use. I'm on there just about every day. But my call sign on there is Prime, and I have the same icon as Aviation Plus, so you should be able to see me.
We don't want to have any bald spots on our tires, right? Yeah. Alright, so we're going to follow this off. Now we're going to pick up the...
So now we're just going to be going back to the park. I'm going to go to another...
And then get,
This one's pretty cool.
Clear prop.
I changed the angle on this one. But let's see, radio call, run up, take off. I'm going to go to the takeoff.
hit it again.
That's the timer.
Okay.
So we looked at takeoff, let's do a round of point.
Keep an eye on them.
But this one was pretty cool because you have to go around a point and
Catch the edge of the solar panels. The close edge. Yeah.
you have to keep your eye on where you're pointing or turning at, and it's pretty hard actually.
Okay, what you're going to do is describe a circle all the way around those tanks. Okay. You want to stay equal.
I think I see you. Is that you right there?
Surge out as to
In
to be that equal distance.
the public, just now coming in.
Right next to the solar panels on the dirt road next to it, and start at that point. Now look around and see where you would be if you made that same distance all the way around. That dirt road over there. That was the way from. Yep. There you go. All right, now we're gonna hold it right here. I want to cross this at 90 degrees, right? Okay, power back a little bit. It's too much power. The 22. Okay.
So the turning around a point will be over.
And I want to pick out a point that's
So
gonna be
let's see, kind of use this screen over here to kind of see what I'm kind of going after. So right now, Terry, who's my instructor, he's showing me how to turning around a point.
Okay, now we're going to flatten out on this turn. Remember how flat we were? Yep. Okay, let's bring that nose up. And we're going to catch that intersection over there. Okay, now you have the idea? Yep.
And it's like a T. So if you have a T and you're going around the T, depending on the winds,
2200, we're going to bring...
depends on how flat or how tight you need to make that turn.
There's too much bank. There you go, hold it right there. Hey, cut this road at 90 degrees, which you have. Okay, now we're going to pick out something. Those lakes, that little water right there. Okay, start to turn, and then...
Going after the lakes. S turns. Just using the VOR for Edwards. What else is in here? This is my first landing.
2, 3.
First landing by, well, not by myself, but
Little loud. Go back down.
he's in here. Plus I have the I figured out my audio, so my audio sounds a lot better now.
Radios and transponder.
I'm gonna turn this up a little bit because it's not as
Andrew said to
staticky.
have it on alt at all times, so when you're on the ramp, that's what he said. It doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Okay. There is the thing. If the airport has ground radar, which most airports don't, right?
Yeah.
Then it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Right.
Makes sense.
Like Joshua.
I need to put
they
these
have,
as
radar for taking off.
put my thing in here.
40 knots. It now
Probably
receives
change
it on
it.
their radar.
Let's see.
If it's below that, it doesn't. It ignores it.
Okay. Yeah, it's good. Not even moving.
Yeah.
Radios, transponder set, so that's good.
2-3.
Set. So continue. Okay, navigation is good. Base map, terrain, all that's in. Obstacles, that's okay.
2-3.
Continue. Fuel on board.
Gonna edit this video so it'll have
24.
the chapters in there. All I have to do is do this.
39.
Save.
Okay, so this doesn't talk to that.
I'm
Nope,
going
does
to
not.
refresh, and there it is.
Feet.
Ground scary. 905 ready for taxi with Golf.
Nav lights.
Sky 905 Heavy, Edwards ground, runway 4 right, taxi via Foxtrot Alpha, hold short, runway 4 left, clear puncher 3 bar still, stand by squawk.
Clear left, clear right.
Scary 905, we're going to taxi via
Brakes.
Foxtrot Alpha.
Brakes work.
Hold short of 4 left and clear the poncho 3 bar still, stand by for squawk.
The wind is coming.
We're taking off.
From the right. So I'll do a little bit of
These
this.
listed, they're public.
That's it. To the top of
Talking about the
mountain,
videos, all these videos are public.
Head to your left, you can see the wind going across and then storing up the snow on the other side.
Yeah, we saw some in the mountains over here. South LA is just over these mountains right here. We're at Edwards, so north of LA in the desert. There was some mountains up there with some snow cover on top of them. You can't really see it in this view, but there was some wind going away
Yeah,
from
we
us,
flew, on Friday we flew 6 Echo Delta.
and
It was a little different with taxiing.
we saw the wind
Airplane.
blowing off of the top,
Taxiing was a little
blowing the
different. It has a,
snow around.
HSI?
Right. I like that. I like the HSI better.
Yeah. It was nice to use it because I've never used it.
Oh yeah, the HSI is really, it's easier to use because it uses, instead of this this is a pilot adjusted, so you have to make sure that your basically compass is the same as your compass up here, and it'll go off sometimes. It'll be the calibration will be off, so you got to make sure every time you take off.
So over there on the abandoned flight line, can we just drive our cars or park somewhere and go look at it, or do we have to call someone for?
You
do
mean
you know?
over here?
Yeah, over there.
No, you can just park your car anywhere there and
Oh.
go look at it.
Sweet. Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, can I go over there? Because I don't usually see people over there. So clear left, clear right, clear center. So, because I would like to see some of those. We got like a aardvark over there,
Uh-huh.
and the older planes and the old B-1.
Yeah, that's one of the, what they do, they take these airplanes and they modify them and try different things out, different configurations, and finally they get them to the point where they don't fly anymore, so they just park them over here.
Yeah, I think they're using those for the new museum they're gonna build off base.
Yeah, talking about the
I think they're
museum.
gonna move all of
But
these
anyway, I'm
over there.
talking to someone else on Discord as well. There's a run up. Haven't gone on the run up yet, so we can
Controls are free and correct. Thumb up.
look at the
left goes up,
run up.
Right goes down. Back center.
Checking the controls right now.
Right goes up. Left goes down. Elevator up. Trim tab neutral. Elevator down.
Forgot about the trim tab.
Rudder
Yeah,
to left.
there's
rudder
something
right.
good to check before you take off.
Free and correct. Fuel selector is still on both. Fuel throttle friction lock seemed fine. Navigation instruments set. See if this is still set. And
Sky 905
Some
Heavy,
checking.
squawk
Yep, checking that right now.
0051.
Making sure it's correct.
0051 for Scary 905.
no, it should be on the other side. That's backwards.
Yeah, so the north is right here.
Then
It goes
there, autopilot,
east when you go this way,
Autopilot.
so it's backwards.
Oh yeah, hold it a little bit longer. Let's see, it should go to the right.
Testing the autopilot right now. I put the heading bug on this side, and the yoke goes to the right.
Left.
Then I put the heading bug on the other side, and the yoke goes to the left.
Goes to the left, and I can overpower it. And
Making sure that I could
button.
overpower the.
Autopilot transponder, ADF, not going to be using
Autopilot.
Radio 2. I'll be calling we'll be switching to 120.7 after the run up is done. Flight instrument and audio panel. Flight instruments, altitude, altimeter still set. DG digital gyro. Yeah.
Towards the right, head Edwards ground, runway 4 right,
So
taxi
fix
via
that
Golf,
already.
hold short, runway 4 right,
AI.
clear punch 3 bar, so stand by squawk.
Air indicator?
Where AI attitude indicator.
Attitude indicator. So that's center, we're not
Oh,
banking
to the
left or
blank.
right. VSI vertical.
So we get to
throttle
the,
to 1800 RPM.
here's the RPM,
Brakes
checking the
are
magnetos.
set.
So brakes, hold the brakes. Magneto or throttle go to 1800 RPM.
Pressure's good, temperature's good, all of that is good, vacuum's still good. Engine instruments, ammeter's still in there. Go back.
The ammeter's down below.
Yeah, I was looking at trying to get the volt. Ammeter is neutral, 0, or charging. Voltmeter was 27.9, and then vacuum gauge is check. Well, magneto's up there. So to left, make sure there's a 50 drop, about a 50 drop, no more than 150, and it recovers. Then back to right,
Ground, Scary 95, we're hold short, we approve
about a
the
50 drop.
Gary
Going back to
95
bolt,
heavy, contact us.
and it
Scary
recovers.
95, switching
Did
tower.
all
Good
the
day.
Okay.
You're gonna put that on.
Okay, temperature, did all the electrics, annunciator panel, nothing's on, and then throttle back to 1000.
That's made sure both of the magnetos are good. Holding short, VFR request. Doing some slips over here.
Right, so now I'm going down a lot, right?
Yeah.
So let's go back up now. Neutralize it, bring it back up.
8 Pop Tango, maintain VFR at or below 9,500 for traffic
A little bright outside. At least you can see on
I
here.
want you to do. I want
Okay.
you to be able to use the right rudder or left rudder and use the aileron for directional control, okay?
Alrighty then.
Your airplane?
My airplane.
Okay, climb
Oh,
in.
Darkweed's magnetos are the basically the spark inside of the engine. So as the pistons go in and out, you could actually give you a visual representation because you can't even see me. Magnetos.
Type unknown. You've got about a 50 knot overtake on him and he's slowly converging.
Let's see. There's a good picture representation.
Make a 180 in the other direction.
Okay.
Left or right, you're
Right here, let me pause this video real quick. So the magnetos are in the spark plugs. So the magnetos power the spark plugs as the engine is running. So as the engine is running, it will send a spark to the spark plugs, or send power to the spark plugs to create a spark inside of the engine. So if both of your magnetos go out, your engine dies. So that's why there's two of them. So when you have two of them, you'll switch to the left one, and you're only getting half your power. So you can get your right magneto will be only doing half your engine. So you would lose a little bit of RPM. And then you test that one, make sure it doesn't go too low or shuts off. And then you go to the other side, the right magneto, make sure that it doesn't go too low or shuts off to make sure that both your magnetos are working just in case one fails. So that's magnetos.
I'm gonna go. We'll go left.
Okay, now I'll consider this a clearing turn, right?
Okay.
Anytime you turn in the airplane, just tell the camera
Here's
this
one
is a
thing
clearing
here.
turn.
Are you able higher for that traffic?
Yes, sir, we. 103, I can climb.
We're just turning around, do some slips. Usually you do slips when you're too high and too fast coming in to land on final.
Thank you.
You'll be able to, you'll turn the aircraft off center, and you'll be turning like this with rudder. So you can slow down and use the entire fuselage of the aircraft to be able to slow down and descend without gaining speed.
Okay, let's head right down the road.
And it'll be demonstrated here in a second.
Okay, so you want to do a slip. So remember, you don't want to slip against the engine. So pull the power all the way off. Okay, then start your slip. Let's start with the right rudder. Pull right rudder.
So right rudder,
Okay.
and then
Left aileron.
opposite aileron. So
That's right. See how
pull.
we're going this
So
way?
I'm putting
What we
a,
want to do is we want to track this way. So we hold enough aileron. We steer, right, with the
Yep.
ailerons with the pull right rudder.
I'm doing right rudder,
Now we're going
and I'm
down.
going to the left.
Down.
So now
Let's switch over to the right.
our speed is only 80 knots. We were descending really fast.
And right aileron.
And now we're switching
Okay, like that. Now we're
switching
using
sides, so
the
using the left rudder.
Right, and let's
and then there goes the
Clear 3 Lima Golf, contact SoCal approach 120.
descending pretty quickly without gaining speed.
There you go. Now I'm using the aileron for directional control. All right,
Okay.
see how that works?
Let's wiggle it around a bit. So
Yeah, see?
if you're level, it
Let's
won't
go this way a
it'll
little
this way. Okay. So
Now we're just
keep it right there.
Ladder. All right, let's go over that way.
let's go over there, and he has us go over there. See, look at the cloud, the mountains.
There we go.
45 approach. Stay next point of navigation.
See the mountains over there, get snow on them.
All right, let's bring it out of the slip.
Can't believe this was 3 years ago. That's crazy. Coming up on 3 years ago.
Are you navigating off of Shafter or Lake Hughes?
So yeah, I did some
So,
slips.
to get out of the slip, is there a border?
No,
As your touch and goes at William J. Fox Airport, we have Juliet.
Arrow 4, thank you for Juliet. Contact Fox Tower.
Contact Fox Tower, Air 4.
okay, now we put
So-
Fox Tower in there.
So Fox Tower's right there, so we just
There you go.
need to go to Com 1.
Perfect. See, you're learning. You're doing a good job.
You're learning.
Woo, busy,
So yeah, we're
huh?
Yeah, very busy.
Okay.
Yeah, we're getting-
now, what's our pattern altitude?
Pattern will be Fox Field is where is it at? 70? No, it's not. It's 2351, so it'll be 3351. So
There
it's
you
about
go.
3,300
So let's
feet.
go down to 3351.
yes, Darkwing. I do have my PPL, but every 2 years you have to get it basically renewed,
Clear, clear.
and I did not get it renewed, and I am non-current when it comes to PPL, but I do have it. I can't fly because I'm non-current because of the amount of time it takes and the amount of money it took. But it was a good experience, and I'll definitely get back into it later on in life.
Line is straight up and down. That means you're going right directly to it.
Yep.
This we're going to Fox
Okay,
Field.
ready?
Let's see, was that did I do it?
Bit.
No,
We're gonna with the run.
I'm
We're
on
at
base right now.
3100. Now we have
So it's
on the
yep,
center
there we
line.
go. Kind of make out the runway over there.
Very nice. Very nice.
This is all
Kinda
me.
keep that distance from the threshold.
Was this
to
when the-
dash the same
I
way
think this
all
was
the
when
way
the
down.
runway was
Notice
closed a
if
little
I
bit.
do that, if I
Yeah.
keep that nose
So this is
down,
all
see how the
threshold.
airspeed
The runway is
doesn't
actually
change
up here.
then?
That's why it
Yeah.
seems so
That's
high.
what we're trying to do. A little more flap. I mean, power.
Power.
A little bit.
Oh.
And I want to hold the nose down, right? Holding that nose down again keeps that airspeed at 70.
Okay.
Okay, see how the distance is the same?
Yep.
I hold the nose down and see if the airspeed doesn't change. Okay, now I'm going to go back over to the center. Okay, now hold it right there. Now I'm going to ask you to bring the RPMs back to about 12. Okay, ready?
Yep.
Okay, bring the RPMs to 12. Okay,
We're going over the numbers right
center
now.
line. We want to stay straddle the center line. Right, so we're going to come over here to the center line. Hold it right there and
So he helped me on this one.
There
Okay.
it is.
Put flaps up,
full power.
and then full power, going up, and then coming back around. See, all this was closed. Well, not closed, but being it was a threshold. Now it's not like that anymore.
All right, now it's at 70. Now we're going to start turning final.
At least I don't think it is. Go back.
Not to the numbers.
Right there.
Okay. The center line is right here, right? So we're going to come over to the center line. Just hold that nose up.
See it a lot better in this one. See the
And
runway
go
starts
over.
right
Bring the
there.
power back a little bit more. 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 Okay, so now what we want to do is, now let's take a look. And see, we're going to pull it all the way off 100%.
All the way. Yeah, we're a little high.
I'm going to try to keep that nose up to 70. That's the best place to land. And see how the threshold and the dash are the same?
Yep.
And then the airspeed doesn't change. Wow, we're getting windy today, huh? We're getting bounced. Come on down now. Now you want to transition your eyes all the way down the runway. Don't fall. Don't fall. Okay. All right, now all the way down.
So here's the.
Now you got
I'll
that
wait till this.
peripheral vision kicks in.
From transient parking.
And just hold it off. We're going to hold it off.
So holding it.
Hold it off.
Bleed off that speed,
30 uniform.
and flaps are up. I'll show you the field looks like now. See, this was all this was closed about right here. Now it's open, and it has it as they redid the concrete.
Skyhawk 2630 uniform, runway 6, taxi V Alpha, hold short, runway 6 at Fox.
So here's my first landing over here.
70. Okay, now get on the center line.
So this is all me. He's not on the yoke at all.
And what we want to do is we want to keep that distance from the dash to the 6 the same. So bring the nose down. There you go. That's it. There you go. Now if you're going down too fast, use the throttle.
Yep. A little bit of power. power.
Okay, nose down, nose down, nose down. There you go, add power. Nose down. See how the distance between the dash and the 6 are getting smaller?
Yep.
And you're slowing down. See? There you go. So always use the throttle for altitude control. All right, nose down. Nose down. There you go. Now let's look down the runway.
Down the runway.
Okay, now bring the power back to about 1300 RPM. There you go. Now look down the runway and just want to hold it off. Hold it off. There you go. Looking good. Use your rudders and your ailerons both. There you go. You just did your first landing.
Oh, sweet. I thought you were controlling it. Neat. Full power.
So nice. Yep, did my first landing there.
60.
Left downwind departure approved. Runway 6 at Fox.
Looks like we're heading back.
Mark it up.
Oh no, we're on final again.
Holding short.
Yeah.
Yes, yep.
We're on final again, doing my second landing.
This elongated threshold throws you off.
Yeah, okay, now we're going too fast, so what do we do? Remember, we got to, first of all, stabilize your airspeed, okay? Once it's stable, use the throttle only for descent.
Okay.
More throttle is you don't go down as fast, less throttle, you come down faster. Okay, so let's bring, what you want to do is set it up for so that you're right at 70, right? Okay, now you can sort of let go. See how it stays at 70?
Yeah.
All right, now use only your
Yeah,
throttle. to
like a
begin
pro.
descent. Just hold it right
Did
at
a pretty
70.
good landing. I was like, I thought he was on it because he had his hands there, but he wasn't.
That way, isn't it?
He wasn't touching it.
Yep.
But I was like, oh, cool. That's hours and years
We've
of
got a pretty good
flight
headwind,
simulator
so
and all the
this would be
simulator
high
stuff.
under normal
It does help.
circumstances, But
Oh.
not today. That nose down to 70. We're going to hold right at 70.
Oh, I had a gust of wind
Good.
there.
See how the distance between the dash and the 6 are the same all the way down?
Yep.
Right on the money.
Then
Okay. Bring the
about-
power back a little bit more now. There you go. Keep
Coming up on
in,
the threshold. It's a little
down.
bright. Another video would be better, but
Bring
you get the
throttle
gist.
down back
Another
to about 12.
gust of wind there.
Now let's look down the runway. Look down the runway. Hold it over the line.
Trying to get it.
Hold it there, and you don't want to land flat. There you go. Hold the nose up high.
Hold it.
There you go. Hold it up high.
Hold it. My phone is blowing up. What's going on? Oh. So kissed it. Boom.
Okay, flaps up.
Flaps up.
Flaps up and full power.
Yep.
And there's 60.
Yep.
Cessna 2427 X-ray, resume left close traffic, report midfield downwind, runway 6 at Foxtrot, clear for takeoff.
Cessna 7327 X-ray, clear for takeoff, left close traffic, report downwind.
So going up. Let's see. So did another landing over
Nose
here.
down.
I think I did another
Nose
landing.
down, keep
Yep.
the distance the same all the way down. Oh, nose down. Okay, now let's get our eyes starting to sweep up and down the runway on the center line.
Down the runway.
On the center line.
So getting on the center
Keep the
line.
eyes down, now runway, settle in. Now hold it right here. There you go.
Yes, this
and-
is Edwards. Talking about it earlier. This is the south base at Edwards.
Flaps up.
Show you
full power.
Yep.
show you the map here real quick.
Cessna 7327 X-ray is on left down, runway 6, touch and go.
Oh, this isn't south base. This is over at Fox Field. But
Clear touch and go, 27 X-ray.
yeah, this is over at Fox Field, which is over here. So this is Fox Field. Let me zoom out. So this is Fox Field right here. I am over here
You got a Boeing 33
on Edwards Air Force Base.
Or
So
that Boeing right there?
Uh,
I think it's a Boeing 336.
yeah, right over here.
Now, those are all
So
jumpers.
we flew from Edwards, south base right here, to Fox Field, and
So
over
if you
here.
have an HSI, you can always tell you're 90 degrees.
Turn this down a little bit.
The 6 will be right on
Over
your
here
right-hand
is
side.
where we take off from, and see Flight School, Aero Club. This is the planes right here. So we actually take off from this runway, which is like maybe 50 feet wide, like it's really thin.
I'll see you guy on base.
But yeah, this is where I learned flying around here, going around, did cross countries to Bakersfield, Inyakern, this airport right here, and all the way back. Took about 3 hours. It was really fun.
Okay, now get parallel to the runway. To the right.
And now I'm on downwind right now.
No, that's the
I'll
left.
go. It's one more landing.
Come back out.
Okay, now put the throttle back to.
Oh, is that doing slips now?
There you go. Gotta hold the nose down. You don't want to get too slow. Okay, Now I think we're okay here, right?
Yeah.
So now we come out of it.
Come back out.
Okay, now put the
Nuclear bombing? Nuclear bombing was over in
Now see how the slip can
Nevada.
help you?
Yep. Drop jet in the sky
Between
real quick.
There you go.
Without
closer to Area 51.
That's it.
Yes, I do have my private pilot's license, but I haven't wasn't current on it because every 2 years you have to get basically re-verified with the
70.
the instructor.
Now notice that the
And I was
picture
unable
is
to
like
do
a
that, so
trapezoid.
I am not current right now.
Trapezoid at the same
So I'm unable to fly, but I would like to get back into it, but it took a lot of money and a lot of time. I didn't have either of them at the moment, so kind of stopped. But it was a great experience. Can't wait to do it again. I kind of satisfy my passion for aviation with simulators, but sometimes even watch my old videos.
Okay, 1200 RPM.
down the runway.
There you go. And there you go.
A little squirrely. This is one video we were doing crosswinds, and I'm literally, like, no joke, like 10 degrees, 20 degrees off to the left or the right. Like have my neck at a 45-degree angle, trying to get straight.
Keep it on the center line. Let it settle in.
So here's back at Edwards. Can't see the runway; it's too bright out there.
Wasn't so bad. A little bit of wind at the very last second.
Yeah.
Yep. So did that. Let's see. Touch and goes. Engine out procedure. Oh, this was fun. Oh yeah, Tricker, you should definitely think about getting your PPL or something, or.
Gotcha.
It's really nice. It takes a lot of money though, but if you don't have the money, at least get a few rounds in. This is a horrible angle, but at least get a few flights in and kind of get used to the sight picture of being able to fly. I need to update this one too.
Obstacles, good.
Update this real quick. See how I have the chapters right here? It's not in the description or the thing yet. All you do is add the timestamp 0:00, and then we can refresh, and it'll give timestamps.
Test.
So here's the run up. I already went over the run up. Take off, 100 feet engine out. So single engine. You need to know what to do when your engine goes out, especially when you have one engine. So we were just going over that.
Okay, there's 55. Rotate.
Nice, airline pilot in the Airbus. That's cool. I was
Climb up.
my
Watch my
plane of
altimeter up here.
choice is Boeing,
Okay,
so
there's
I'm
about
a
100
Boeing
feet
fan,
right about
but
there.
never really got into
Engine
Airbuses.
out. See how I had to get the nose down. See how I get the nose down?
Yeah.
Alright, then I come down.
This, oh my god, that freaked me out. So I'm gonna talk about you Tricker. So haven't gone GA in 10 years. Yeah, it's pretty. I've never flown an airline, but when it comes to general aviation, it was pretty fun. I sometimes do Flight Simulator X or prepare 3D for like VATSIM or something, so I can kind of get the gist of it. But I enjoy GA. I would hopefully I get back into it and maybe one day become, like I said before in our earlier stream, a Air Force pilot. Would be sweet. What Airbus do you usually fly? Is it like 120s or 320s or 19s or something? Going back to this, so there's the 100-foot engine out. So we're taking off, and the engine quits, so you need to get back to the ground. And seeing that sight picture of the ground right in front of me, it was just like goes against all my better judgment, and it was
Climb up.
crazy.
Gonna watch my altimeter.
I wonder if
up here.
I did anything,
Okay, there's about 100 feet right
if I see
about
surprise
there.
or something. Let me see.
Okay, engine out. See how I had to get the nose down. See how I get the nose down?
Yeah.
No, I didn't really say anything. I didn't really do anything. But that sight picture, man. 320, 1920s, and 21s, same rating. Yeah, it's just that they're just bigger or something. That's cool. And it's probably basically the same cockpit. It's just more passengers. So we did that. Got to
Okay, now it's your turn.
landed on that one. Now it's my turn. So I think
Okay, you
we
got the airplane?
just backtrack on the runway. I think it might have been calm wind, but we did the same thing with winds. So imagine like 20 knot winds coming behind you, and it seems like you're just booking it across the runway.
Edwards traffic, Falcon Delta, high speed run, runway 24 to runway 6.
So we do that, and then my turn, engine out. You bring it over to the left a little bit. Can't really see my speed, it's a bad angle.
Center line, okay, get your eyes down the runway.
I'm moving. I don't think there's any wind on this day.
There you go.
Yep, need to work on
Again,
that
you're
center
off
line.
to the side.
Yeah. Just more worried about not hitting the ground so hard, but
That's fair.
Re-
So there's
Oh,
that
you gotta-
turn back engine out. This
There
was
we go.
fun as well.
55, gonna rotate.
So you take
Comes
off
lower the
and
nose. I can
you'll
see the center line.
like
come
almost
up
clear
to
the
80.
runway, and like your engine goes out, so you have to turn back around 180 degrees
Over
around
80, get the nose down.
and try to make it back to the runway. And you're pulling a
Pull
decent
them
amount
out.
of G's in a Cessna 172. You see there's water in the lake bed at this point.
Okay, there's 800. Now power out.
So as power's out,
Back that
engine's
over
off.
to
So turning
45
around,
degrees, and bring it down. Now see how I'm pulling it back?
yep.
Okay, what's my airspeed?
Airspeed is 75.
Okay, so bring it up a little bit more.
so basically
Turn
you're
around. Notice it's not a 180 turn. It's almost a 270. Now flaps all the way down. Goes down. We're gonna do 70.
so basically the
Yahoo!
oh Jesus,
Okay, and then back
did
on the
I
runway.
did I react to that? Because that looked pretty crazy.
Goes down. We're gonna do 70.
Let's see, did I do anything?
Yahoo!
Oh, you can see my
Okay,
body
and
go up
back
because of
on
the
the
negative
runway.
G's.
It's gonna be a fun one, right?
Oh yeah.
It's going like 80 right now. Be on the little bit on the airspeed indicator.
Fine.
And just kissed it.
Get on the ground.
Get on that stupid ground. Okay, so now it's your turn to do it.
Now it's my turn.
Okay.
We taxi back to the end of the runway. And then there I go.
Hey, lower the nose. Lower the nose.
Oh, we still
lower,
have flaps down.
What?
We still have flaps down.
Oh.
I was like, it just flew off. I'm like, whoa.
Oh, we still have those
Yep,
flaps
that's why
down.
we use flaps for short fields.
There's 80.
Runway 6.
It's going.
Practice engine out, landing back on 24.
Is that to the right again?
Yep, turn to the right.
So here I go. This is all me this time.
Ready?
So there's that.
Okay, now pull it. Okay, nose down a little bit. There you
And
go.
that.
Start your turn. 45.
Turn it around.
All centered. There you go. Pull back. Pull back hard. There you go.
So you're turning hard, so you can descend without gaining too much speed. Because if you just descend without pulling those G's, you'll be creating drag, making you be able to turn and descend at the same time without gaining too much speed. That's why you got to pull pretty hard. See how thin that runway is?
You're not bored, are you, Greg?
Not bored at all.
Nope, not at all.
This is very entertaining.
Yeah, I was not bored my entire lessons. Not even in ground school.
Okay,
So that was all
land
me.
with the nose a little bit higher there.
A little higher.
That was all me. Those were bad.
Okay, good. All right, let's go down the other end.
See, touch and goes,
Actually, let's
go
stop here.
arounds,
Okay.
last landing. All right, let's
And
go
we'll
to
put the flaps up this time.
under the hood. Engine out, continuing. Oh, Mojave crosswinds. Take a look at this right here. Let's see, I'm gonna do the same thing on here. 1 second. Going to do the timestamps on here. Bear with me. Oh. Alright, save that. And refresh a Rooney. And there we go. So there's the run up. There's a takeoff, Edwards. But better, it's not as sunny, so you can see outside. So here's my takeoff of Edwards. And those one time took to the right.
So you get
Perspective right here. The right is where main base is. And I one time took off with a KC-10 at one point. Took off with them at the same time. It was kind of crazy. Joshua approach. Base runway 4.
Back.
So here we're in Mojave,
The flaps are
which is over here. So here's Edwards. Flew over here to Mojave, and this is where they have the boneyard. All the planes you see. So we're landing on, what did I say? Runway 4. So we're on runway 4. If I can find runway 4.
And
There's
the
runway 4.
windsock, verifies that the
So
wind
we're gonna be
is coming
landing
from
on that,
030.
and you can see in the distance. You can see the
Oh, he has like the 6.
5 yeah.
Yeah.
the boneyard for the airliners.
Down,
This is one of them. There's
down.
more.
There you go. Alright, now he's on the runway.
I think a couple of times I took off to see some 35s. I mostly did flights on the weekend, so when I did fly on the weekdays, that's when the only time the Air Force was flying. So on the weekend I usually would fly, and then
You're gonna have to keep on the center line there. Okay?
during the
Not to
week
go right.
I would see mostly like KC-10s, or I think I might have
A
saw
whole bunch of windsocks. There's like 3.
a couple of F-16s.
So, no excuse that you didn't see the wind side.
I know, right? Like 6 of them on the airfield.
Yeah.
So it was right pattern. So I'm gonna go to another right pattern.
Left pattern.
Oh, well, Nessa says, well, it doesn't have 030 for
Then it defaults to left.
Yep, defaults to left.
Darquise, it depends on you have to get with the management,
I'm at 80.
and they might let you
I
walk
think
around
it's,
it, but you definitely have to get with them. It's not open to the
It was
public.
300 no. Yeah, 300 above. So about here.
And sometimes they have like auctions and bids, so you could like actually buy parts.
Nose up. Nose
So they'll
up.
let you buy like 747 parts or something. I can find. I have a picture of when I was flying over the boneyard. Let's see.
Mojave traffic, number 106 Echo Delta is crosswind coming around for runway 4. Mojave traffic.
Here's
Forward
one.
left traffic. You gotta tell them which side you're on. Okay, turn that one.
This is one of the pictures I had flying over. It was when I was doing on my cross country, but there's
Got to get to 38.
some of the airplanes right there. They're
Yeah, it can get confusing
getting
with all
around
the runways and everything. So you look at your
midfield.
little winds thing, right?
I'm going on runway 4 now. Well, 4 again. And then today doesn't seem like it's very
Just keep
very windy.
power back.
I guess the second one is like super windy.
Okay.
I'll go with this one next after this landing.
There you go.
Crosswind.
Okay, now
90-degree
center line.
crosswind. I think I'll go with that one. Doesn't seem like. Oh yeah, there's a little wind. That's about 10 knots or so. If the windsock is all the way out, like straight, that means it's 25 knots. So it's about 10-15 knots or so. So short field takeoff, crosswind, 90-degree crosswind. Let's go over here.
Mojave traffic.
Okay, so what we're going to do then, we'll just do
This is a very wide
see
runway.
how we didn't have
This is where they have
much of a
SpaceX. They have
base, that's why we're
their
so
747 take off and doing all those tests now for
high. There you go, keep coming down.
that rocket they're trying to launch.
There you go. Oh, get over to the center. There you go, over the center. Okay, let's come out of it. Alright, there you go. Now, what we're going to do is see how let me have the power. We cannot come in with no power. Absolutely cannot come in on a crosswind landing with no power. And the reason is because you've got to be able to set it down. Okay, now we can kick it off to the left. And we
Yeah,
come down like that.
That stall horn is
Then we have to
yelling
hold
at
this
us.
in. So we got quite a bit of crosswind.
Yeah.
So what happens is that it's pointing this way. We have to kick it over and use a right aileron, okay? And but we can't have it come down during that. This might be a little bit beyond your capabilities. It's a little bit too much. We'll try one more.
Okay, for crosswind?
Yeah, and then we might as well go.
Yeah, I like space. I have
It's good to see the
Elite
worst
Dangerous.
first,
I
and
don't
then
play it
everything
very
else will be
often at all,
easier.
Yeah.
but I do enjoy space exploration. Yeah, I have a small telescope. I like looking at stars and stuff, so a little bit of everything. And if I come back around,
66 Echo Delta turning right base for runway 30 Mojave traffic.
and if I come back around over here, you can see a hangar over here.
Alright, see how
If
we're
this
up
visor
right
wasn't in the way,
to the right, so
if
the
you
wind
could
is
see it.
coming from our right. Yep. We
It
cannot
houses
land like
the
this, so we
White
have to
Knight
kick it over
2.
and then use the ailerons for control.
control.
Actually,
Alright,
is
this
that
is
it? I
looking
don't
like
think
a
that's
great
it.
approach. This is looking really good.
So you want me to
Nose down.
stay in ground effect
Yeah,
with, with rudder
yes,
correction?
Yes. Okay, ready? Okay, add a little power. There you go. Now, hold it over the center line.
Yeah, this right here, this
and
this
kick left
hanger
rudder
right here
with the right aileron.
holds
There you go. Hold it up. A little more power. Power. There you go. Don't be shy. Now see how you're on the center with that one wing?
Yep.
Okay, we're squared up with the runway. Right?
trying to see what that
There you go. And we're on the
I
center.
thought it was called the White Knight, but I thought it was bigger than
This
that.
is how we would actually touch down. Okay, more power. Good. Now let's flatten out.
Hmm.
There you go. Now pull it back again. Okay, now let it settle in. Okay, now again, left rudder and right aileron to keep it centered. Okay, like that.
There it is. Where's the largest plane?
That making sense?
What's
to
it
you?
called?
Yep.
We even touch down.
Strato
Okay,
launch.
Full power. Full power.
Yeah, the Strato launch
So when you do
is
it
housed
right, it works out really well.
in that hangar. As you can see here,
Well, not yet.
it's the same hangar. Same hangar as over here.
Okay, now left right direction. Yes.
Yeah, right there. It's the
Okay,
same
ready?
hangar.
Okay, add a little
See
power.
the little logo up here?
There you go. Now
The logo
hold
up
over
there?
the center line
That's where this
and
plane is housed.
Left rudder with right aileron.
We saw it once. I don't think I got it on video, but this is the largest plane. It's pretty awesome. So this is, they used it for basically payloads, possibly people in orbit on the reusable space plane. So they'll have a space plane, I think, under one of these wings, and then it'll launch and put you into space, put you in the orbit, low orbit, and then you'll be able to say that you've been in space. And that's basically what this is for. And they were testing it about 3 years ago when I was flying. They had it outside a couple times. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, read about it when the first flight. Yeah, it was about three or so years ago when it started flying. Go to this other crosswind. Let me change this. I guess I'll just do each one. Gotta do. Oh.
2, 3. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Okay.
Press this to get the chapters in there. We have chapters. So run up, blah blah blah, take off, Mojave traffic, final runway 22.
Speed.
There you go. Now you're ready.
The better lighting
And
for
where would
today.
you put the second?
Oh, did it? But as you can see, the boneyard over there is a little bit more pronounced. See it a little better on that side. We're at 54 minutes, so it's not gonna be too much longer. Probably gonna wrap it up in about 5 minutes or so.
Watch the airspeed.
Be going over a few more things.
And remember, you use the throttle per altitude. Look at that. So you got a red on the
Short
right,
soft
and a white
landings,
on the left,
stage
right on
check.
the glide path.
My cross country to Daggett, solo cross country. Solo cross country to Bakersfield.
Look at that. That is so pro. All right, let's look down.
Oh,
the
go back.
runway.
Is that a DC-9 or not, DC-8? I think that's a DC-8.
Look at that. That is so pro. All right, let's look
Yep.
down the runway. And now we're actually at an angle here, aren't we?
A little bit.
All right, so we got to kick the nose
Look,
over.
see, look at that windsock. So it's 25 knots or
There you
more of wind.
And now use the rudder. I mean the ailerons to keep it centered.
It's probably coming at like a quartering headwind, about this way.
Okay.
So this one is when all a lot of did on finals for
Okay,
2-2.
we're a little far away. Let's get a little closer.
So now we went to runway.
This is gonna be a good one. Look at
Oh
that.
goodness, look at that. Went to runway 12.
So it's left rudder and right aileron.
We have a lot of
Correct?
right
Left rudder,
crosswind
yeah.
coming from the right side,
The fixture
but it's
self.
pushing my tail, and then thus pushing my nose off in the opposite direction. See the windsock right here? It's basically like 45 or
Very
maybe
nice,
50
Jim.
degree.
Hold it on the center line. Just keep coming down. Keep the power on to stay until you're stabilized. Looks good. Keep coming down. Okay, there you go. Now just a right rudder and
And so you always want to put your your wheel into the wind first, because if you do your other wheel, the wind is coming from the right side. You do your left wheel, it could flip you over. So you always want to put in the wheel into the wind first when you're landing crosswind.
Perfect. Look at that. Okay, flaps up. Okay, wind's coming from our right, so we go do this.
Let's see, there's another one right here.
Good, less than 90 degrees.
The runway, so we're coming in. I'm going this way, but the airplane is pointing in that direction. I got really good
Okay, let's
at
go down the
radios.
runway without touching. Just keep it straight. And I want you to put in the rudder correction too.
So now we're just gonna hover in ground effect over the runway, and just kind of keep it like 2, 3, 4 feet off the ground, and just get that sight picture in and get used to seeing that and putting in that rudder correction. It was really squirrely.
A little bit too much rudder. You want to square it up a little bit more. You are actually pointing into the wind, right?
Go around.
Well, you can still go down the runway.
Yeah, we got plenty of runway.
Yeah, we got plenty of runway.
Reset. We can do it again.
Yeah, we can go
So
down
it's
there.
like on
Keep that nose down.
There we go.
Final
Keep
again.
that nose down, young man. There you go. So what you want to do is we're going to go ahead on down. We're too high. Okay, now I want you to put in the correction. Over here.
Too much? Okay.
Yeah, see, wait, see how that nose is pointing off to the wrong side? See, that's square right there. Right, up, there we go. That wind is treacherous.
Treacherous.
That's why
Absolutely
you have
right.
to put a little bit of power because you have to be able to recover.
There's that
these little
hangar over there again.
There, that's pretty much it.
What's that hangar or this hangar right here? One of the two.
Oh, look at that.
Ooh. You want to land? Okay, I just turned the power off.
Okay, there you go. Okay, full power.
So yeah, that's that. Some more crosswinds.
And 2,000.
It's a nice sight picture right there. Let's go back.
On to 28. 38.
38, there you go.
Pretty nice day. It was windy.
Traffic car view, turning left crosswind.
Okay, notice that you had the rudder in a little bit, actually a little bit too much on that landing. So this one I want to take and go down pretty much the center of the runway. All right, and then I want to get about halfway down. I'm going to give it to you, okay?
Okay.
All right, so I have the controls.
You have the controls.
I got the controls.
So he's going to give it to me halfway down.
You get the cross end, right? So now I want to stabilize. I want to stabilize it first. I'm going to add a little bit of power. And now I'm going down the center of the runway, right?
Yep.
And now I'm stabilized.
So now we're good. So he's
Now
going
what
to
I'm
kick
going
in.
to do is I say, am I ready to touch down? The
No.
answer is no. So I'm going to kick it off to the left. Okay, and the wind's coming from our right, so I got to put that back in. Okay, so and that's pretty much on the center, so this goes back up. Go ahead, and now I'm going to give it to you.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, take off, and just kick off and just go down the center. There you go. Now let's go down this. Just hold it on the center. Oh, you got more power.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay, now once we're in the air, you can pull it back. Oh, there you go. Now let's get the nose down.
Squirrely.
Okay, go down the center. Pull the power back a little bit.
Remember doing that? It was so,
There you go.
so
Now
tense.
We'll put it down the center.
So squirrely.
There
Trying to
you
get
go.
it more rudder.
Down the center, right down the center. Good, excellent.
Look at that. Look at that yoke.
Okay, now kick it over.
There goes the
You're
rudder.
gonna hold it right there.
Not bad.
I think you got it.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
that's
touch
not
it
bad.
down. I'll pull it back all the way, just a little bit.
That's a little bit back. Let me just
And
get a little kiss in here.
oh, careful. Careful. Not
Very
bad.
nice. Okay, let's go around.
Oh, skirt.
Gotta hold that aileron in. Up and neutralize.
We didn't have flaps in. There was no flaps in that.
Yeah, well, unless you pull them up, because I put them on the final.
Oh. I don't think I did. I don't remember. I went to go reach it and it was already up.
Oh well. Crosswinds.
Okay, let's do that one more and we're gonna go back.
The class. So first flight was might might have been the first day that at the first introduction, either the first like actual meeting him, it might have been the second day, but actual lessons, it was like the first day. The first day I met him, we did some paperwork. He talked about what to expect and what to get online and on the virtual ground school that I go over, and then like literally like the next week, the next lesson, we were flying. So he had the hour, almost 2 hours of instruction, and then every now and then we would go inside and go over ground school, talk about different regulations and other things like that, and debrief what we did the other days.
Little bit.
Okay, come in. Just hold the power in. Hold the power in.
But it was pretty quick
More.
when I started flying.
Okay, now just a little bit of right rudder. Okay, now let it come down.
You were back at Edwards.
Nose straight.
Wait, kick it.
Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna come down straight, right? And keep the nose straight, and there, just keep it on one wheel. Sometimes I like to show off and just keep the nose up there.
Yeah.
Cool.
Really halfway.
See what time we had. We had an hour. Do one more video. Let's do my solo. My first solo. This is Fox Field, back at that field that has the elongated threshold. This is my first. Let me do it again. Guess I'll do it again. I don't have anything on there. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I don't have any timestamps. I'm gonna take.
Testing.
Nice. My first solo. I had 29 hours of my first solo.
Continue.
I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. Did my run up.
You.
If I can find my my shout out.
Fox Tower, November 104 Delta is holding short of runway 24 with information uniform. Staying in the pattern.
4 Delta, Fox Tower, runway 24, wind at 250 at 15, clear for takeoff, right or left close traffic approved.
Clear for takeoff, runway 24, I'll say it in the right pattern, 4 Delta.
Roger.
Clear left, clear right. Alt. Lights. Is that land removed? That's already going. That's good. Strobe. Here we go. No one's on final. No one's on the runway. No one's even on base. But runway's huge. Let's do this. Engine's in the green, pressure's good, amperage good, airspeed alive. There's 60. There I go. Nose down to 80. It does climb a lot. Does climb ridiculous. Does climb pretty ridiculous. No one's around me. There's 8. Clear. Back to 2-1. 3-1. Six. A little less. Fox Tower 104 Delta is midfield for runway 24, touch and go.
Cessna 4 Delta runway 24, wind 250 at 16, clear touch and go.
There's that.
Hey, yeah, just getting a bite to eat. We'll be muted for a little bit. It's my first solo, so I'll be here. If you have any questions, just type it in the chat. I'll answer them. But at the moment, I'll be muted for a little bit.
It's gonna be like a full stop. I'm gonna turn at Foxtrot and then go say hi to my instructor and then come back to the runway.
Cessna 4 Delta, roger, clear to land, runway 24.
Clear to land runway 24, Orca Delta.
ish. Birds on the runway. Yeah, they're leaving. At 70. Nose down. That. Keep it off. There he is. Wind is pretty good.
Lima Whiskey about to turn a right downwind for 24.
Right, 29 Lima Whiskey, runway 24, clear to land.
Clear to land on 24, 9 Lima Whiskey.
Right now. Oh, there it is.
Hey, Willie 1, off exit at Delta and taxi to Fuel Island via Alpha this frequency. And I think all the guys after you are going to have to call for a fuel.
No one on final, no one on the runway. Alrighty. Wheels on the floor. Engine in the green. Yep.
Okay, 9 Lima Whiskey here. How do I get over to east parking now with the fence up?
29 Whiskey, yeah, you go via Alpha and Charlie to parking.
Okay, where's Charlie? Further on down to the west?
Negative. Charlie is just on Alpha back the way you came, and then it's right past the, I think that's a Falcon jet.
Okay, I'm turned around and going back on Alpha.
Okay, climbing at 80. There's 28. Turning to crosswind.
You gave me good instructions. I just don't know where I was at. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Keep it at 70. It is bouncy up here. Keep it at 70. Who?
Gonna turn on Foxtrot and then go down Alpha to 24 Fork Delta.
This is Fork Delta, exit Foxtrot, runway 24, taxi via Alpha.
Taxi via Alpha to runway 24 Fork Delta. One more. Alrighty. Well, today is my solo to Bakersfield, California. Kilo Bravo Hotel Foxtrot. Oh, sorry, Bravo Foxtrot Lima. So we'll be going there, and then going around to Inyokern and coming back. So I just got some fuel just now, because I didn't have enough fuel, but now I have enough fuel for this flight. On 120.7 in the green. So I just did my pre-flight and all that stuff. I just started the cameras. Get on over here and the brake check. Brake check is good. I'm on COM 1. Southwest traffic, Aero 06, taxiing to runway 24, east departure, Southwest traffic.
Yo, yeah. Just had some food. But since I was out for a little bit,
Clear right.
promise this will be the last video. We'll be at hour and 16 minutes. So I'll just show you, everyone, my cross country landing at Bakersfield, Inyakern, and back at Edwards. And I'll probably end it. But I'm still getting my PC set up, Darquise. I haven't updated it in a long time, so I forget.
That are like sunglasses. They have a dark tint to it instead of just like that, and it's longer.
Been a little bit since I've.
It's about
let me do this.
84 degrees.
It was 84 degrees that day. That's why I was wearing shorts.
Amazing.
Just
Delta
update.
Feels pretty good.
We just refresh this, and we now have.
Yeah, it's longer.
Or not. That's over 3 hours. It doesn't have it anymore.
Very little wind today.
Well, maybe I need to do this.
It's about 84 degrees.
Didn't put a name, so maybe it needs a name.
Which still feels amazing.
Try it one more time.
That are like
there we go.
Sunglasses.
There's taxiing. There's
a dark tint to it instead of just like that. It's longer. 55.
There's a takeoff. Alright, yep. See you, Darquise. Thanks for staying around. So here's taking off, top of the climb, going over Tehachapi. That's over. I flew from here, flew from this base, flying this way. This is Tehachapi right here. I'm flying over Tehachapi right now. All the windmills. There's the like a what is that? Like a something plant. It's a cement plant. So there's the plant for that.
Alright, remember to stay ahead of the aircraft. So 122.4, don't need that anymore.
There were 63 hotel traffic west, 5 miles eastbound, out to indicate 8,000 unknown.
So I'm trying to stay ahead of the aircraft. If you skip behind it, it'll definitely get away from you.
Hotel. There was 63 hotel traffic west, 4 miles eastbound, out to indicate 7,900 type unknown.
Yeah, 63 hotel, 6 on traffic.
I think this is when I had the ATC gives me a.
Landing. 33 is preferred. Thank you.
So I'm over Tehachapi now.
There was 66.
Oh wait, go back.
Literally.
95 descend and maintain flight level 290.
He was right below us. 7,573.
I actually visualized him, saw him. I just saw him like just then. Scared me.
He was right below us, literally. So at Tehachapi. So 430.
So now I'm gonna listen to the ATIS.
Traffic for 12 left, 6 second Delta. Get ATIS 116.8. 11.
What happened?
Left traffic for 12 left, 6 second Delta.
2 left.
Golf
6 second Delta, verify landing Meadowsfield with information golf.
Oh.
We'll get golf 6 second Delta.
Cessna 6 second Delta, make left traffic runway 12 left.
Left traffic for 12 left, 6 second Delta.
So I called the Bakersfield airport
Get
so I can get
116.8.
directions to what to land on. So I'm right about here or so, and Bakersfield airport is right here.
Departure, radar contact.
And the airport, the runway was 12 left. So I'll be landing on this runway right here. Go underneath. Oh, nice! I didn't even know that.
Runway 30 right, 12 left shore. Runway 30
second, side
left,
mission.
12 right closed. Runway 30 right.
Huh.
12 left southeast and 1,805 feet.
Tunnel going underneath.
Runway 30 right, takeoff, run available and takeoff distance available 9,050 feet.
Here's my descent. Is final.
7,400. 445, roger.
So there's the runway right there.
6.45, and let them know you have the traffic in sight. Have a good day.
And it was weird coming through the mountains and then descending. start smelling. This is where
Delta midfield for
most of this
left.
has all agriculture. So you smell like
runway 12 left, clear, landway
actually you smell like manure. To be honest.
Land runway 12 left. 6 Echo Delta. Smells awful over here.
Like I said, it smells awful over here. Slowly,
Autopilot is off.
you're slowly descending, and then
There's traffic pattern.
the air gets into your cockpit. Go to
A little far.
a little far on that, but it's good to go. Go to my base. On base right now. I'm on base right now. I think it's over there. I'm looking, making sure. I wonder I didn't have my other
Looking
camera. My other camera's right there.
Looking good.
Not sure why I didn't put that in there.
To final. I
Oh, there we go.
70. Turn to the center line. A little high.
Bakersfield Tower, medevac 1.
Medevac 1, Bakersfield Tower, West Benefit 1704, altimeter 2992.
Roger that, Atlantic West, like depart to the southwest.
Nice.
Medevac 1, make your departure west, or crescent east of Taxiway Alpha
Look at that,
runway.
right on the center line.
Departure from the ramp, Aviation rescues, caution point 1705.
Very nice.
Alright, my clear to cross, I'll go behind the Cessna here.
Then I take off. And the cruising. I'm taking pictures and stuff. Yeah. Then and then in your kern.
Traffic.
A long final. Over here, this airport is over here. I took off from here, Bakersfield. I flew to the east, all the way over these mountains, all the way to Ridgecrest. Well, actually, over here in your kern. Now I'm landing on runway 2 or 33. I think it's runway 2. Yeah, it's runway 2. Goes a touch and go. Left base. Got some gliders over here. It's got kind of awkward because I wasn't sure what they were doing. Holding short.
Long time.
But takeoff? Like,
hangman, switching to 123.3.
so they were I thought I don't know, it was weird. But I end up taking off that way.
Hold up, you guys are gonna stay there? Where's your... I'm confused now.
Take off. There'll be a Cessna landing on 2 shortly.
Want to just take off on the reciprocal runway?
0, correct? You want to take off on 20, correct?
On 02.
To the north.
Yes, I would like to take off on 02 to the north for a south departure, but the wind seemed to have calmed down, so I can take off on 02 from where I am right now.
Alright, well you didn't... We're basically staging for takeoff with the glider. Tow plane is still in the air, so if you wish to take off, either take off to the south on 20, or we need to pull off, but you didn't give any indication of what you were planning to do.
I was over the radio. I said I'm at Bravo, taking off runway 02, but I can take off runway 20 if that's okay with you guys.
Yes, please go ahead.
Thanks.
Yeah, for K3 Bravo, Silver Black Cessna copies.
See.
Circling over the golf course, heading departure of the Skyline.
Yeah, it was just weird. I don't know. It was very strange, but
6 echoes to
be taking off this way. I just take off this way and be on my way. So took off, cruise, runway 24. This is back at Fox Field. So I flew all the way from here in your Kern all the way over here to Fox Field.
Lights is required.
All over here.
Autopilot is off.
You can see it's a 3 hour and 10-minute video. You see this red stuff? That's actually you know, the planes that have that red stuff falling from the sky with the fire retardant. That's where they practice. What is it, November? So it's right before fire season, or right after or during fire season, and they usually have like 747s and the MD-11 DC-9 type do practices right here. Dump that red stuff. A little off center, a little bumpy. Good to go. Yeah, I taxied back and took off, and then back at Edward. And yeah, that's most of my videos. I still have all these videos on here, so go to my channel and they'll be there at the, I think at the bottom. It'll be at the yep, right here. So right here you see flight training. You can play all of them, and it'll bring up all of my lessons. Well, till next time, thanks for joining, thanks for staying.
Flaps up.
Yep, till next time, thanks.